Hey everybody, it's Karen Bentley here with the Recovery Superpower channel, where we revolutionize the recovery process and we do it together. This is the place where you'll hear a new message, one you won't hear anywhere else, where you get a new mindset, a mindset you won't get anywhere else, and where you have a new solution, a solution that isn't presented anywhere else. So welcome. Thank you for finding your way to my channel. I'm so grateful we have this time together. Today we're going to be talking about rule number 1, the most important, the most essential, the most self-directing thing you can do for yourself to get started on the path to recovery. And it's this: you have to make a decision about what you want. If you don't know what you want, you can't have it. If you don't know what you want, you're not going to give it to yourself. Your neighbors can't help you. Your friends can't help you. Your family can't help you. Your pets can't help you. The universe can't help you. No help will come to you if you don't know what you want. So that is the number one most important thing you can do for yourself, is to make a decision and then, of course, act on it. But before we get to that, I'd like to remind you really quickly that this is my book, The Power to Stop. It's a 30-day program for ending any dependency. You can get it at Amazon or any bookstore. The link is in the description. Please consider checking it out. It'll help me a lot. So, you have to know what you want to get what you want. Isn't that simple? Isn't that amazing? It just seems so simple that everybody would know it, but everybody doesn't know it. I have 2 stories to share with you, 2 personal stories. The first one is me as a member of a Facebook group called Addiction and Recovery. This is a very, very large group of mostly recovering addicts or people with dependencies of any kind, and people who want to be recovering from a dependency. And what I am there for is as a supporting brother or sister. I applaud people who are celebrating their recovery anniversaries, and there's usually one every single day. They post before and after pictures. They might have a little paragraph about their experience. And I say, yay, you, keep going. And I do the same thing for everybody. That's my contribution to that group. I am there just to applaud, to appreciate, to notice. And I really think that that's of value. I rarely say anything else other than, yay, you, keep going. But one day, this wasn't too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, there was a guy who was new to the group and new to recovery, and he put out an appeal to the membership. Can anybody out there help me? I'm having trouble. I can't get started. What advice do you recommend? And I didn't even think about it. I just put down, make a decision about what you want and act on it. And then I went on to my yay, you, keep going comments, and that was that. And then the next day I went back to the Facebook group and I saw that he had answered my comment. And I was really quite surprised because he was all pissy at me. He was very annoyed with me. He was angry with me. What kind of advice is that? Who are you to say that? You don't know what you're talking about. Have you ever even been an addict? And of course, I didn't respond to him because, why waste my life energy? And I don't need to defend myself to him or to anybody else. Mostly I just went on my way with my yay yous and keep going. But, I didn't want to explain that, hey, I've had my issues with binge eating and eating to soothe my soul. I've explained that in a previous YouTube video that you're welcome to watch. And I didn't want to explain that, oh yeah, I used to start my day with champagne in my coffee cup. I didn't need to explain that. And I didn't need to explain that, I've had my twirl with sleep aids when they were giving them away for free, and before they knew, they created dependencies. And I know no need to mention my unwholesome, unbalanced relationships with men in the past. These are all things that I've had to deal with, that I didn't want to deal with, but that I had to deal with to be here with you today so I could share my experience, apparently. So anyways, he didn't realize that that was his starting point. That was his takeoff place. That's everybody's takeoff place. You have to know what you want. I'm going to show you this sign, but it's backwards. I'm sorry. I know what I want. When I was doing online dating, I had a picture of myself with my I know what I want sign, and everybody took it the wrong way. They thought that I wanted something sensual, but I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to be here with you, for you, by you, to say, yeah, you, keep going. So that's my first story. You have to know what you want, even if it seems too obvious. Make a statement about what you want. And here's what happens when you don't know what you want. The problem doesn't get solved. It's my second story. So I just moved to this beautiful antique house about 1.5 years ago. And it's my first time living on my own in a very long time. And I really wasn't savvy or skilled in dealing with vermin in the house, meaning mousies and chipmunks and squirrels and, those kinds of animals. And I didn't want to deal with it. I found it very repulsive. I just wanted the problem to go away. I didn't want to have the problem, and I just ignored it and pretended that it would go away if I ignored it enough. And of course it didn't go away. It got worse. It progressively got worse because these animals were living in my house and multiplying. And it was a horrible, unsanitary, unsavory problem that I finally, at long last, I had to decide. I don't want this problem anymore. I don't want to be dealing with mousies every day. I don't want to be cleaning up after them. I don't want to be vacuuming them. I don't want to be putting Lysol on everything. I had to deal with this problem. And so I had to call the exterminator, and I had to learn how to set traps, and I had to learn how to latex up and get rid of dead mousy and vermin bodies. And I know that this is ridiculous, but it's just something I was squeamish about and I didn't want to do. So I didn't make that decision. But once I made the decision, the solution came to me. And it wasn't hard. It was just me getting over what seemed like a huge mountain, my own little, well, I don't want to do this, but once I got over that, it wasn't that bad. And I had to stay mindful of the problem, of not creating it again, of not, being careless with my doors and where I left food and how I stored food and things like that. So it all came from my decision to deal with the problem. And that's where you'll get your strength too. It will come to you. However you decide to solve your problem, it will come to you once you make the decision the right way. The way that's right for you will come to you. I promise you. So you have to make a decision. That's the most important thing. Just making a decision. However you make it is going to be helpful. But if you can possibly make it in the positive. So, for example, instead of saying, I don't want to have a mousy problem anymore, I could say, I am free of mousies and other vermin. They can't live in this house with me. And to make it clear, that's pretty clear, to make it short, positive, directive. If you can remember to do those things, they will all help you. But just making the decision is the most helpful thing you can do. Once you make the decision, the answer will come to you. The solution will come to you. That's the rule. And I promise you it will work. So try it. See how it works for you. Leave me a comment below and let me know your experience. I'd love to have a conversation with you. If you like this content, please smash that like button. And I would also love it if you would consider subscribing. It would help me on my way enormously. And come back. I put out a video every week. I can't wait to be with you again. Bye for now. See ya.